I briefly mentioned, but then cut it out because it was in the midst of a long rant. The only thing I don't like about this Nelson rig gear really is how this folds down. I don't know how strong the seam is going to be with the, you know, it's got the fuel molly on top, which is actually how they recommend doing it. But yeah, I don't like the extra weight. If the bag's packed full and that seam is like not being pushed down, it's like it's all copacetic. But I don't know about that one and how long it's going to last, and that's all I have to say about that. Feeling it's because I don't have any vents in my shed. I've never had any problems with my grips coming loose after I've put them on. My shoe's already loose, and I'm sure it's because it's 100 degrees outside and I don't have any vents in the shed, which means it's like 140 in the shed. So I will have to remedy that soon. That's alright. I need to put on my pillow top on this one anyway, so I'll just take care of them both at the same time. Didn't even have my camera on. Coming in the Ingles parking lot, lady pulled right in front of me, almost hit her. Had to lock at the back brake, fishtail it. A less experienced rider would have definitely wrecked it. Lucky I got skills. Guess I should always have the camera on. Yeah, I should have actually seen if there was a skid mark. There's got to be one in the parking lot. Too damn hot to be standing out here.
You ought to have all that stuff.
You ain't kidding. I got to start moving. Sometimes it seems that not cleaning your visor at all is water at all is... That was a big bug. It's like the size of a small rock. Okay, we have story time. So I'm getting like insane smells off my motorcycle gear because I've been smoking. Smoking? Well, I have been smoking because I've been on fire. And with the heat. And I've been sweating. Not smoking. And like profusely. So like 16 years around a motorcycle in California, I never had anything smelly or nasty, or I mean I wore most of the leathers except for my helmet. The inside of my gloves obviously weren't leather. Well, the inside, we see anyway, none of it ever stunk. And I don't know, this stuff does. Gotta buy new knee pads because I think, you know, I should have been washing them all along. I didn't realize it. And so now, like, even though I've washed them and stuff, the smell just won't leave them. So even though the knee pads are still good, they just reek. And I'm not sure whether or not they have fungi on them, because there is definitely a fungus among us. I noticed something on the back of my knee the other day. I'm like, what is that, babe? Like, she's like, it's like athlete's foot, but you know, like fungus on your, you know, she didn't know the exact type of fungus. There's a bunch of different kind, but anyway, so I've been treating it. But I was like, it took me about 30 minutes to figure out what it was. Well, I can't imagine what oh, of course I know what it's from, those freaking nasty knee pads. So my helmet was starting to stink too. Not near as bad, just a little bit. I was like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. So I watched the video. Oh, you just pop the pads out, give them a little wash-a-boo, and it's like some mild ditch detergent, something like Dawn, or some baby shampoo, something that's not going to leave residue and smells, all that stuff. And it's going to wash out clean and not going to degrade the plastics, not going to have bad ingredients in it. I forget, I don't know if it was phosphorus free or what, but anyway. So I used some Dawn, and helmet pads are great, lovely, yum yum. But when I took them out, I put the helmet on the shelf, I realized the styrofoam is completely cracked, so the helmet I'm wearing is literally useless. I mean, it's good for sitting on my head and keeping out the wind, but it's no good for protecting me in a wreck. So it's just cracked along where the you know, the point here, the chin piece. So I forget which side, right or left, but it's just the whole piece of little drop down styrofoam that drops down into the chin is completely broken. So it's not the worst place, but still. So it's like 149 bucks for these helmets. I like the helmet. I got another one in the queue. Get some money, I'm gonna go ahead and get one. And that way I can just switch the cheek pads out and pop in the fresh ones immediately. And then I don't have to worry about fast drying. I had a fan and stuff. They dried quick anyway. It wasn't a big deal. But then it's just really not a big deal, right? So that's your story. And I'm sticking to it. So we got to make sure not to have a wreck, though, in the meantime. Okay, another story time. I got a D606. Is that the right tire? The Dunlop D606 for the rear. But I've yet to put it on. This one is absolutely almost totally shot. The middle knobbies are almost completely gone. Or, you know, flat. They got, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so of height. They used to be like 2 inches. I don't know, they wore quick. The D606 is supposed to be a harder compound. So, you know, as y'all can see, I do a whole lot of road riding, particularly if I'm not just in explore mode. If I'm just in explore mode and I'm literally like mapping out a map from the house and trying to specifically take dirt roads, I stay on dirt roads a lot more for the most part. But when I'm going specific areas, like going to specific areas to ride, which is what I'm doing now, you know, you got no choice really but to get to it on tarmac. I mean, potentially you could do the same thing I was talking about with the map out on the dirt road as much as possible, but something like that's going to turn like a, you know, a 55 minute trip into, you know, 4 hours. By that time, like, I'm not going to want to ride anymore. So, not really much point. We'll try to get it while the getting's good. Oh, they've done put one gate up and their cable is down. I mean, somebody's probably there. I best not go in there. That was my trespassing part 2 video. Something trespassing, an innocent trespass. An innocent trespass part 2 video. That was that spot right there. Just dipping in here real quick. There were no signs that said, there were no signs at all, so I didn't say anything because they were non-existent. I think it was the other way. Yep. I didn't see that hump right in the middle of that bush. Almost f***ed up. Somebody come flying up on their side by side. Hey buddy, what are you doing in my backyard? I apologize, sir. I thought it was a random field in which I was allowed to partake in a participation of a little bit of a brap-a-doo-dah-day. Brap-a-doo-dah, brap-a-doo. My oh my, what a brap-a-doo-doo. Plenty of brap-raps heading my way. Plenty of brap-raps for me today. Must a brap-rap going brap-rap. Brap-rap, brap-rap-rap. Oh, see, that was the other way I could have come. Blue store, I saw that. Oh, I'll come that way next time. That'd have been the long way though. Whee! Oh, I think I was going to tell you about my new moisture wicking climb undergarments. My Aggressor -1.0 cool attire. Cooling attire, I don't know. Anyway, it's not a coating that washes out like most moisture wicking clothing are. It's not a chemical coating. It's supposed to be an actual, I don't know, you have to look it up, some molecular or something, and working with the how you doings and pulling the moisture. And oh, I don't have any of that on my face though. I should have bought something, some skin, some Aggressor Cool Mask skin from my fat head. But yeah, so speaking of fat, the shirt works great. The pants, on the other hand, I went with the recommended size. Thought they'd be decent because I just tried them on. But after wearing them here for how you doing, not so pleasant on the lower back where all the issues exist. So yeah, got a bigger pair in the queue, and these are too late to return these. So ripped all the tags off everything. So I just got to eat that 60 bucks. And maybe have a grandkid or somebody I can give them to someday. But we won't even get into that situation. A little bit of the old TMI there. And why'd you include it in the video? You can't help but be an open book, boys and girls. Your friendly neighborhood KLXC man is nothing if not honest as frig. Sometimes too much so. Okay, I digress. Onwards. Loving my new pillow top on my grip side, even if I did blow a freaking hole in it. I'll know better next time.